fashion industry up until the mid-20th century ran on 4 seasons a year: spring, summer, fall, and winter. Designers would plan and predict the styles they thought consumers would want for each of the 4 seasons many months ahead before the clothes were released. The process was slow, but the materials used for the items of clothing they made were of great quality. Though, due to the quality of the clothes, this method of fashion production was mainly accessible for only high society. It wasn't until the mid-2000s that fast fashion became the new normal for the fashion industry. Nowadays, fast fashion brands produce about 52 micro-seasons a year or 1 new collection a week. By replicating new trends in real time, these companies can create desirable styles weekly if not daily. Due to the fast output of these trendy clothes, the prices are cheap, making them even more desirable to consumers. The goal of fast fashion production is to leave consumers wanting more, to the point where they are buying and ordering so much to keep up with the trends that last no more than a couple of weeks. This leads them to wear their items no more than twice, resulting in them throwing out their out-of-date clothes to make room for the new ones. In 2019, global retail sales of apparel and footwear reached $1.9 trillion and are expected to rise to above $3 trillion by 2030. The United States apparel market alone was valued at approximately $368 billion as of 2019. Store-based retailing was valued at over $268 billion and online shopping over $100 million. As the internet increasingly influences social and economic activities, the e-commerce markets for retail is expected to grow. Due to fast fashion, companies produce mass amounts of clothing for each weekly drop they create. Because of this, stores are expected to have an overwhelming supply of stock at all times, so they don't have to worry about running out. This leads stores to end up with mass sections of sale and clearance, mainly due to the fact that clothes are no longer desirable and in trend. I bet you're wondering, so where does the undesirable, out-of-style clothing go? Well, those once so trendy clothing items make their way to the landfill. According to the Copenhagen Fashion Summit, an overwhelming 92 million tons is dumped into the landfills each year. With the fashion industry producing about 80 million garments a year, or 10 for every person on Earth, there's no doubt the landfills will rise. Clothes can take up to 200 years to decompose, resulting in our planet becoming more and more polluted each time a new trend comes out. At this rate, if fast fashion continues its growth, the total carbon footprint of clothing could reach 26% by 2050. Burning has also been a huge issue in the fashion industry. Big companies have been found burning perfectly good clothing and accessories to prevent them from being stolen or sold at reduced prices. Burberry alone burned $37 million worth of clothes. This practice releases carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, contributing to global warming. The dangerous dyes, toxic chemicals, and synthetic fibers that fashion companies use in their clothing also raises concerns. Most fashion factories will dump their wastewater directly into rivers that people rely on. In Bangladesh alone, 22,000 tons of toxic waste from their tanneries go straight into the waterways a year, eventually making its way to the sea. This issue has gotten to the point where the Extinction Rebellion and the UN have found that 3.6 billion people are at risk of water scarcity at some point this year. So what can we do to help this problem? Do your research on what stores are ethical and sustainable. Though, no matter how ethical and sustainable the clothing is, it will still have an impact on the environment. So, become somewhat of a minimalist when it comes to fashion. Staying trendy isn't worth the environmental costs.